Hello there. My name is Reverend Bassy Daniel, and I'm very much aware of what has been happening in Vineyard Christian Library for a greater part of its existence. Oh, I wasn't there when it first started, but when I came to meet it, I recognized that it was a vision assigned by God. The Vineyard Christian Library is the very first ever private library that I've seen that is extended so much into public service and Christian service. Mr. Semeka has done some excellent work in acquiring some rare materials and books that is being looked for nowadays, whether in Bible colleges, in Christian ministry. Just put them all together in one place. A lot of people are not yet aware of the Vineyard Christian Library, and it's actually free to read in the Vineyard Christian Library. And you don't need to pay to read there. It's a beautiful collection in all spheres of Christian endeavor. I first got introduced to Vineyard Christian Library by the proprietor's son. He came to my office and said, "Have you met my mother and her library?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, I'd like you to accompany me after church." So after church, I went out with him, and he knows I love books. And when I beheld the amount of materials, books, and documents available in Vineyard Christian Library, I have not seen any such library owned by a private individual east of the Niger. In fact, most Bible colleges would be envious of the library. It caters for everything, from apologetics to hermeneutics to ecclesiology, to mention Christian living, everything. I was so taken in. I have to make use of Vineyard Christian Library and became a great beneficiary of it. If you find time to go to Vineyard Christian Library, you will never regret the amount of time you spend there. Don't forget, readers are leaders. Thank you. I am Reverend Bassy Daniel. I use Vineyard Christian Library.
I'm Dr. Mrs. Andemo Semeka, the founder of God's Vineyard Free Christian Library. I was a nurse by profession. I worked and retired as an occupational health coordinator in 2007. I was never a librarian, but God wanted me to set up a library. Vineyard Free Christian Library is a non-profit organization. The aim is to provide resources for pastors, Bible teachers, Bible students, and all who want to know about Christianity. The motto is carrying the word of God to the ends of the earth, Acts 1:8. And we have different arms. We have the main research center, we have children's section, we have electronic library, Bible study section, and others that we'll introduce as we go along. The vision came in the year 1998. I went to Challenge Bookshop, Port Harcourt, to buy a study Bible. And something transpired between me and the cashier. And God spoke to me and said, "Buy more Bibles." Just that, buy more Bibles. And I bought. After that, a few days after, the voice came back and said, "Buy more Bibles." I bought, but I wondered what God wanted me to do with the Bibles. I said, maybe God wanted me to become a pastor or to buy Bibles to give to pastors Since I belong to Gideon's organization, we give Bibles out, but we don't give study Bibles out. So maybe God wants me to give out study Bibles to help them in their work. I started buying Bibles to give to some pastors, study Bibles. The voice came again and said, how many pastors will benefit from this? Judging from the fact that the cost of one study Bible. Buy Bibles, buy Christian books, set up a library for my people to come and read free. I've been in Gideon organization for long, and I didn't plan to have any other ministry. So I said I'll do it my own way. I'll build 3 stores, make one a Christian bookshop, and then the other 2, I'll put maybe 1 table and 4 or 6 chairs. And then that will be the library. Put few books on the table. And God told me, build the stores quite all right, deck it, make a hall, and then put Christian books and Bibles for my people to come and read free. I now did it in God's way. I decked, I built, I bought books. Because I did it in God's way, doors were open. People will come to me and say, do you know if you go to Arts Bookshop Jos, you'll buy some Christian books? Do you know if you go to Knifes, you'll buy Christian books? I continue buying from one place to the other. People were introducing places to me. And the most surprising one was ship that has never come into Port Harcourt entered that period, carrying all sorts of Christian books. In this ship, I couldn't, for the whole day I spent in that ship, I couldn't cover 1/4 of it. I collected so many Bibles and Christian books, and they were of cheap rate. And one of the helpers asked me, what are you doing with books? You don't buy as if you are selling. You pick one and you make sure you pick one. What do you do with the books? And I told him. He said, okay, if another ship comes, we are expecting another ship. If it comes, I will call you. Give me your number. 2 years after that, the man called me and said, a ship is coming. This time a smaller ship, but it carried Christian books. I continued buying from used book to out of print books and so on and so forth. And I filled the place. But another thing that touched me during the time I collected the books from the year 1998, and we opened this place 2008. For 10 years I was collecting books. So while I was collecting the books, for instance, in the library there's a set of books, Complete Work of John Calvin. Complete Work of John Calvin, I bought it at Arts Bookshop, and it is 22 volumes. Each volume costs 2,000 naira. And 2,000 naira to buy complete volume is 44,000. And another one, Complete Work of John Wesley, and so on and so forth. Now it touched me. If somebody wants to do a research and he needs these people, these books, how come he may not be able to afford to buy Complete Work of Calvin, Complete Work of John Wesley, and Complete Work of all other great authors? But if he comes to this place, he will be able to see them and use them and leave them for other people to come and use. So I put in effort to buy all this work of great men and every book that I felt will be necessary for research and put there. That is the part that I played. Otherwise, it's God that told me that I should set up the library. Others would benefit from the center. They are already benefiting. Some pastors come, some people who are writing books, some people who are doing research work, they come and see the books they need, they use it, and then the good thing about it is they will leave it for other people to come and use, and so on. They've been benefiting from the center. Like this story about John Calvin. Some people who want to write a book and who are actually doing research, who cannot afford to buy all these books because some of them are expensive. They will come in and have it free. They don't even pay anything for it. They just have to read it and then do their research and go. So these are the benefits that they gain from the library. And I can say there is a progress. Judging from the position of the building that the library is, this is a developing area and the roads are so bad. So the roads actually discourages people. But we can say that we've made progress. For instance, 2009, this place was opened in 2008, December. 2009, we made a visit of 144 visits. 2010, 251 visits. 2011, 435 visits. 2012, 353 visits. So far in 2013, we've got 100 visits. So I should say there is a progress, and if the road will be repaired, there will be more progress. The challenges, in fact, the main challenge I face is the road. If government would repair the road, it will encourage people to come more, especially during rainy season. This area belongs to government and they are supposed to repair the road. When we grade it, being the terrain of this area on a hilly area, if it rains, it will cut across the road. So we can't repair the road except they tar the road. So if government will come in and then repair the road leading to the library, then it will take care of the very big challenge I have about this library. And the main support I want for this center right now is for the government to repair the roads. Because when they repair the road, the people will be able to come. And another support I would like to have, from the year 1998 to 2008 that I had the vision, I collected books. Then I was in the service. I retired 2007. So I was able to collect all these books you shall see. I bought them and it was not a problem because I was in the service. And now that I'm retired, it is very difficult to collect books. I still collect, but not as much as I used to do. And I still need more books. I need to replenish. Some books go bad, and so on and so forth. So, the help I would have loved again is that these companies or organizations that send used books to African countries, if they can come in and help us with some books, it will go a long way to help me in this place. And every other area will be covered. This is the children's library, children and youth library. We have all children's Bibles, children's encyclopedia, children's workbook, and also activity books for children of all age group. They come in here, they pick the book, sit down around the table, read it, and then ask questions if they have to. And then they have their CDs section in the library, and then they can put it and then show children's film, children's Bible story in film. So all this place, as well as secular encyclopedia for children, we have it here in this children's library. This other one is equally for children. This area is the teacher's guide for all the books, especially the activity books. The teacher's guide, how to show the children what to do and how to do it. So all they have to do, they come in here and pick what they want and then read and go, like adults do. We just have to catch them young. So we want to bring up children too, as well as adults. This is the Bible study section. All the materials here are for Bible studies. Then we have some Bibles. For instance, this Thompson Chain Reference Bible. We have the study guides written from it, so that it will guide the person to do the study Bible. And then all the materials here are for tape library. The tape library comprises of the CDs, videotapes, cassettes, and so on, all from here to here. The people will come pick it and then go to the reception room and show the film and watch. We have this children's section, for instance, David and Goliath, Joseph, and so on, Daniel in the lion's den, for children. That's the CD that they will use to watch the film. And also we have some CD and tapes here. We also have some books written with tapes, and full Bible in tapes and in CD. So the people will come here, pick it, and go to the reception room. Let's stay here for the Bible study. This is the reception room. Actually, what we made this for was just for the journals, the magazines, and then the internet printouts. All these things are study materials that is printed from the internet and brought down. And then all the journals. And then when they pick the CD there, they come here and play it. But since we had no space, we had a problem with space. We had to create this place and put Christian literature, novels and humor, social science, women's social, and then we also have medicine and health and Christianity kept here. And actually, the only thing that they will do here is to just sit down here, pick the magazine. We allow them to pick the magazine and go to the garden to play, to read, but not the main books. This is the Christian and General Counseling section. In this place we have all the counseling book for pastoral counseling, children counseling, youth counseling, and HIV counseling, marriage counseling, pre-marriage counseling. All the books here is under counseling section. Some of the downloaded articles from the internet are kept here under counseling. Then we have a lot of tracts for HIV and AIDS. We have all other books. Counseling is one-to-one, therefore it is just one chair, and the counselor has one chair, and then he counsels the person. They have their Bibles to use here. For instance, these materials, they are all for counseling HIV. What is HIV? How HIV and AIDS is spread, or how it's not spread. And all these posters are on counseling. So we bring the people here, counsel them, we are starting from the section, Know the Gideons. I happen to be a member of Gideon's organization. So I just created this area for people to know what the Gideons do and how they distribute their Bibles. I put examples of the tracts. For instance, to be or not to be a Gideon. May I introduce my best friend, the auxiliary. So if somebody wants to know what the Gideons do, most of the people think that the Gideons go about just distributing Bibles. I've kept different New Testament of the Gideons. This is the Arabic one. This is an American Testament, New Testament. This is here in Nigeria. This is the auxiliary testament that came out newly. So all these things are just to introduce what the Gideons do and how they operate. The real main library. We start from this section. There are tracts for people to pick and give to others. They are free. Here we classify this place with the Library of Congress classification. And then we have reference unit, we have general unit. The reference unit, under the reference unit, we have secular encyclopedia. And then we have biblical encyclopedia. Then we have Bibles. We have up to 136 Bibles, study Bibles, and of different languages and different versions. Bible starts from here, and here they are all Bibles, and here we have Jewish Bible. It contains just Torah. It does not contain Old New Testament. We have interlinear Bible, Hebrew, Greek, and English. We have French Bible. We have Spanish Bible. We have Efik Bible, Igbo Bible, Hausa Bible, and all other different languages. We also have other works, encyclopedia, this side, and then we have Bible dictionaries, concordance, Bible handbooks, all over here. Then we also have different works of the Bible. Like for instance, we have complete work of John Calvin. We have complete work of John Wesley, Flavin, and John Owen, complete work. And then we have under here materials downloaded from the internet for research. These are actually Bibles, but they are large print for people with bad eyesight. Also these ones too are large print Bibles. And as we move forward, we have this area still under reference units, but we put it under general unit because the space, we don't have any more space in the reference unit, but this section is under reference unit. We have under general units, we have physiology, psychology, ethics. We also have religious cults and sects, Judaism, Islam, Christianity and Islam relationship. We have Quran. And then the preacher's commentary under this. Also other topics, Acts, computer, civilization, and so on. We have the Bible works, still under general reading unit. History of Christianity, Christian biographies, maybe John Scott, Billy Graham, and so on, under here. The matters, and then the Bible works under here. And then we have works, history of Christianity here. And then we have periodicals, journals, and theological periodicals. All these journals. Bible canon. And then we also have other big Bible commentaries here. Then work about the Old Testament. Here we have God and the people of the Bible stories. We have work about the Old Testament, it covers from here. We have auxiliary topics, and then works about the Old Testament continues to here. We also have prophecy, auxiliary topics under it: prophecy, miracles, business, science, blood, prayer, spiritual warfare. What's about New Testament continues to here. Special parts of the New Testament. This is Apocrypha. What's about the New Testament carries down here. And we get, this is work about the New Testament. And special parts of the New Testament covers this whole area. Here we have doctrinal systemic theology. Works about God, Trinity, authority of and divine law, miracles. Works about the Holy Spirit, messiahship, and then glossiala, speaking in tongues, offices of Christ, life of Christ. Under here we have sermons, homiletics. We have sermons that covers this place. We have personal life of the pastor, pastoral personal life, social work. We have the Christian life around here. Church work with special group of people. We also have emotion, leadership, work on women in the Bible, men in the Bible. We have self-esteem. And then under here we have success, sin and vices, risk-taking, moral theology, consolation. And then up here we have final stage of man, creation and salvation, Sermon on the Mount, and the work about God, judgment, Shekinah, biographies of Christ. So the future stage of man continues here. Mariology, work about Mary, the invisible world, and then creeds, confession and covenants, etc. We have apologetics there. Then we have here different denominations. After moral theology, we have different denominations. Ecumenism, the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church continues. Protestantism, Anglican Church, Seventh-day Adventists, Methodists, Lutheran, Quakers, Universalism, Church of God, Presbyterian, and then Jehovah's Witness, Mormons, and Edinburgh. Now, the walkabout here is what they do and how they perform. So, these are different denominations. And practical theology continues. We have prayer and prayers. The church. Under the church, we still have theology. Under church, we have missionary, clergy, church finance, property, etc. Religious society. We have mission and missionaries, and evangelism and revival. Work about evangelists and work about missionaries. Religious education, Sunday school teaching, and materials are all here. Under here, we still have pastoral theology, pastoral and marriage counseling. If you don't want to go to the counseling room, you want to read for yourself. It's not as if you are going to counsel somebody. You pick whatever you want here and sit down and read. Education, homiletics continued from here. So this other area is Emmaus Bible Correspondence. Section is for Emmaus Bible Correspondence course. This is a theological course, and they give the diploma to whosoever does the course and successfully does the course. And the missionaries come from Ireland to come and graduate the students. This is the only center in Cross River State. We've had about 4 graduations. The album is the album of the graduations. The course has in different modules, Module 1, Module 2, and Module 3. And as you go along, you have higher diploma certificates. So this section is for people to know all about the course. Pick the material. After send the name to Ireland, and then they come down once in a year to graduate the students. We have first aid box. assuming somebody is reading and have an injury or something that we can actually apply first aid with, we use the materials at least to arrest the immediate emergency before we send whosoever it is to the hospital if need be. And all these books, we enter them into the computer. We have more than 6,000 books in this place. And if somebody wants to pick a book, if he knows the title or the name of the book, he can tell us, and then we'll go through the computer and then maybe go to line 2, go to line 3, instead of going around the whole place to look for just one book. So that is why we enter them into computer. As we get them, we update.
Vincia. By the special grace of God, I am Pastor Okafor Justus Onyebuchi from Anglican Ministry. I will remain and also a student of religious and cultural studies in the University of Calabar here. I will start by saying that I will remain eternally grateful to the Almighty God who brought me here some years ago through one of my classmates and a friend, a pastor in our Assemblies of God Church, Reverend John Oshetekwa. We came here in the first time for the purpose of doing research. But when we came here, we discovered so many other things. The library is well equipped. It's a very great resource center, not only for Christian or not only for religious purposes, because if you look at the library now, it consists of several sections. It can be beneficial to mankind generally, it can be beneficial to the leaders. There are sections on leadership. There are sections on social work. We have sections on philosophy. The philosophers used to say that philosophy is the mother of all discipline. Then we have sections on marriage. We have sections on Christianity. We have sections on Islamic religion and other religion. We have sections on Buddhism, Hinduism, and so many other things. We have sections that treat about atheism, even those that doesn't believe in the existence of God. It can be beneficial to all. So anybody that comes here will get something from this library. It is not only meant for pastors. I'm a pastor anyway, but it is not beneficial to the pastor. It is beneficial to the students. Most of the students in the University of Calabar here normally comes here to do their research, especially during the examination period. And the most interesting aspect of it is that everything here is free. You don't pay a dime to get all these things. So it is not saying that the library should be beneficial to only pastors. No, it can be beneficial to our leaders. If our leaders, like those that are leading us in this nation, like Abraham Lincoln once said, that we cannot that there's no way we can lead a nation successfully without God. If our leaders can come here, they will see so many books, contemporary books, not monuments. I say books that are current, that can help them to know how to be leading our nation. There are so many books. You can get books on so many secular books. Like one day I walked inside not the bookstore. There is another section there. I don't know what they really call that very section. I discovered so many books that treats about herbs. How one can use most of these herbs we have here in Africa to treat some ailments. And those books normally described how somebody can get them, source for them, treat them, and use them to treat most of the diseases people are suffering from in Africa here. So there are so many things that somebody can gain here, apart from reading the Bible or coming to pray. I'm not saying that praying and reading the Bible, they're okay. But personally to me, I have not used that prayer section, but I've really gained so many things here. Most of our students in the school there, we have gained so many things here. So many people, it can be beneficial to doctors. So it can be beneficial to even medical doctors. There are so many books here that they can get maybe in the library in the school there or where they're doing their business. But if they come to here, they can get some of those things. So I really encourage everybody, not only pastors, not only evangelists. I encourage everybody from our leaders, students, even atheists, all manner of people. I encourage them to come here. They will get one or any other thing that can be beneficial to their ministry.